Hello darts nuts. I'm going to do a review of quite a unique dart here. This is the Unicorn Ultracore One with the new core transfer technology, and this particular barrel allows you to play soft and steel tip darts, and you can also alter the weight from 17 to 26 gram. And as you can see, the insides of the barrel are obviously hollow, and it allows you to insert these little, don't know if it has a name, just says tungsten inserts or polymer inserts. And the barrels themselves are 80% tungsten barrel, and it's got one set of Unilab Plus flights, one set of Mirage Gripper 3 shafts, 12 times 2 gram tungsten inserts, 12 times 0.25 gram polymer inserts, one set of checkout finger grip soft tips, one set of Sigma 0D titanium nose cones, and one instruction leaflet. And on the back it says, tuning darts for optimal aerodynamics can help scoring, but tuning for optimal ergonomics may be the crucial difference. Configured to play either steel tip or soft tip and utilizing CTT core transfer technology. Ultracore enables you to successfully change the definition of your darts with 16 different combinations of weight and balance to suit your particular grip position and throwing technique. The search for your perfect dart could end here. So that's what it says on the box, and I also printed this off on the Unicorn site, which is, it says all the same thing there. It says the inserts are 97% tungsten, so obviously they're going to be quite dense, which makes sense. Gives you more options for changing the weight. And as you can see, it comes in a box with a slide off outer sleeve, and then inside you've got this foam insert. Underneath that you've got what I presume is the instruction leaflet. Now this isn't a new idea, there's been things out like this in the past where you can alter the balance of darts and add various weights and configure the dart, but I don't think there's been one where you can do it with both the soft and the steel tip. I think there is one that allows you to do something similar, but I think it comes with one piece inserts, whereas these got individual inserts, so there's more variety of changing the weight and also the position. And as you can see, it says there 100% polymer, weight increments 1 gram, so that's a neutrally weighted dart. And then if you put your tungsten insert at the front with the polymers behind, it's front loaded, sorry. And then it gives you all the options here, which is nicely well displayed. You got a 75% polymer and mid front loaded, 25% tungsten. So that's what this setup is, where you've got the 3 polymer inserts and 1 insert of tungsten. And as you move that insert, depending on what position, it should alter the balance. How it feels when you actually grip it, I won't know, but it is just quite a lot of different options here to set up your dart. So basically, a dart that's only £48, I think that's what this retails at. It's a pretty good value when you think about it, because you're getting what seems like 16 darts in one. It's also soft or steel tip. And I think you can buy these inserts extra as well, but I'm not sure how much they are. And then it gives you options for your 50% polymer, 50% tungsten. Gives you little ideas of what's going to happen. It says neutral, high inertia. Not really sure what that means, to be honest, but Uniboffin says, try matching the balance point of the dart to your grip position. Increased weight and inertia can help throw positivity, but will lead to fractionally slow stabilization in flight. Now the thing is, although I'm a front gripper, it's not just the fact where you grip the dart. If I can get the thing out of the box, there we go. Even though that grip is on the front, it feels very light there, to be honest, as I've just took it out of the box, but it's a great grip on the front of the barrel. But like I was saying, I'm a front gripper, and that is not exactly to the front if you add that nose cone to it there, but it's pretty much as I would grip normally, around there. So the grip on the barrel is in the right place, but just because I'm a front gripper, it doesn't mean to say that I need the weight of the dart there. I might need it here, because it's not just where you grip it, it's how you throw it as well. So that's one good thing with this. You've got a variety of tuning setups to try, and then you go right down to your 100% tungsten. It says weight increments 9 grams. So it's going to be quite a lot of fun testing this, but how I'm going to review it exactly, I'm not sure. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, we'll just have a look what's in the box. So there's your barrels with some Unicorn Mirage gripper shafts, and it's already got some inserts inside by the looks of it. And now I've upset whatever that was now. But you've got some extra ones, like it says, little tungsten billets, little tiny inserts. There's the polymer ones, and you've got your flights, standard shape flights, and some soft tips. Don't really know how you're supposed to get your finger in there, like, but I managed it. So that's a great thing, the fact that you can play soft tip as well, because I do have a soft tip board, and I'm throwing soft tips more and more these days. So now if I got a dart which I'm happy with throwing on steel tip, all I have to do is change the point over. If I have to make it a bit lighter to do with the rules, just take some of the tungsten inserts out, add a couple of the polymers in, and it'll be lighter. But what I'll do is I'll show you a close-up of the barrel first, and then I'll probably measure some of the tungsten inserts just to see how they compare, and then we'll go through a couple of the setups, see how it affects the balance and everything. Right then, this is the barrel as it's come out the box, but I've took the inserts out, and as you can see it's fitted with the Sigma nose cone, and obviously if you want to put your soft tip point on, you just unscrew that. But for now I'm just going to have a look at the barrel itself, and as you can see it's got a very nice grip pattern. I don't know how well you can see that. Let's see if I can get it in focus. It's kind of it's a bit like a kind of a shark with a thin ring grip, and it's quite a high level of grip. That I'd probably say that is high level of grip altogether. It is quite grippy. Feels kind of a little bit chunkier there as well than it does along here. Obviously it definitely goes a little bit wider there. The only thing looking at it that spoils it a little bit for me is this nose cone. Now looking at that dart there, it's got quite a nice profile there, but I think for me that nose cone kind of makes it a bit too long. I think I would have rather it went a little bit thinner and a little bit shorter, but that's just me being a bit picky, I guess. The grip on this section here is a kind of standard ring grip. Now the dart itself, because hasn't got anything in it. It feels quite light in my hand, so I'll just do a quick weight, quick measure I should say, just to see what it is. Just as it's set up, I can see 18.7, so that's just as it is there, as it came out of the box, 18.7 grams. And you've got your Mirage shaft and the Unilab standard kind of metallic flights. So I do like the grip of the barrel, and I think on the whole it's got a nice profile. I just think it's a little bit spoilt by the nose cone, but it's not a massive problem. And with the soft tip on, so I think that's a much nicer profile. But as you can see right through with the barrel. So what I'll do now is I'll take some measurements of the barrel. There's the close-up of the polymer and tungsten inserts. Just very little thin bits of tungsten and plastic, whatever it is, and my big ugly hand. Right then, let's first of all I'll do a detailed picture of that, then I'll do some measurements. So as you can see, different profile with the soft tip point, and you can probably also reverse it if you wanted to. It doesn't always work when you do that, but there's no reason why you can't do that if you wanted to have the grip there, because when you put the inserts in you could alter the balance again. So it's like a Swiss Army knife of darts really, so many options to pick from, and the sort of thing that somebody like me who likes tinkering with. But I was surprised the price. I thought it would be a lot more. So anyway, here's the detailed picture. Alright then, here's the detailed measurements of the Ultracore One. It's got a 25mm point attached to the nose cone, and the cone itself is 9mm wide, and then the first section of the main barrel is a smooth section of 4mm, and then you've got this quite interesting grip style at the front of the barrel, which is, it's a bit like a rounded shark grip with quite sharp edges in between and fairly deep grooves. That's 16.5mm wide. Then you've got a more normal standard ring grip, which is 17.5mm wide, and then the section at the rear of the barrel is smooth, and that's 13mm wide. The overall length with the nose cone is 60mm, and the width is 7.6mm. Right, I'm going to measure the barrel with the Sigma nose cone attached and see how long that is, and I'll take it off and measure it without. So with the nose cone on, it is really quite a long barrel. I mean, if that was the end of the barrel from the top right to the tip of the nose, it would be 60mm, so pretty long. Now without that, it's going to be about 55 or something, 54. Oh, it's actually 50. So that nose cone is around 10mm. So 50.8 without anything attached to it, and definitely widest there on that front part, or I guess it depends how you set it up. That's 7.6mm there, and then it goes thinner on that ring section, 6.92, and then tapers again on the smooth section at the rear, 6.26. Right then, this is going to be quite interesting. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to compare the weight of the barrels with nothing inside it and nothing attached. So that's 16.99 grams, 16.99. It's probably 17 grams, it's just a fraction difference, but 16.99. So the barrels are all exactly weighted right, which is good because obviously when you put these in you want the barrels themselves to be exact. Now when they come out of the box they come with two tungsten inserts and two polymer inserts, so the weight of all that and the nose cone is 23.62 or 23.6 grams, so that's how it comes out of the box. Now you're going to be able to do a lot of things with the weights, changing them around. The nose cones, let's see if we can get it balanced on the right, there we go, is 1.86 grams, and that one tungsten insert 2.23. Yep, 2.23. So the inserts look as if they're all perfectly weighted as well. Let's measure a couple more. 2.23. Yep. So that's pretty good then. So you got a well machined and precisely weighted setup here. That's 0.14 for the polymer insert. 0.14. So basically it's all set up perfect. I'll probably go through them all, but I'm not going to do it all on camera, but I'll report on the forum when I have done it. But I'm pretty sure they're all going to be exact. So let me see then, if I add one barrel, a nose cone, one tungsten insert, two tungsten inserts, and that is about the weight that I would be using. So I add two polymers, yeah, so about 23.6, so it comes out the box pretty much the weight that I would prefer it to be at. Let's take that off. Let's reset this just in case. So it could be for here forever doing different combinations, but I'm just going to go through a couple. Soft tip. So with nothing inside the barrel and the soft tip, 17.29, and if you fill the barrel up with polymer inserts, (17.8). Take one out if you wanted to alter the balance a little bit. This is where the interesting part will come in. So you got 19.95, and with your full setup for soft tip, that would take the weight to, if I can get this on, 21.3. So you've got a lot of experimenting to do there. Right then, I'm just going to see if I can play around with the balance a little bit. Again, I've got nothing inside the barrel, and I've just got the Sigma nose cone fitted. Now it should be somewhere around the front, but because it's quite long on this part it may even out a little bit. Just keep that steady. Yeah, I thought that might be the case. So it's become more central there. Probably because that's quite a long section. So with nothing inside the barrel and only the nose cone attached, it's pretty much in the centre. Now this is the only thing I was thinking about, like I'll stick 2 tungsten inserts inside and I'll stick 2 polymer inserts in. Now the only thing I was just thinking about then is if you do this without covering that and you don't put your shaft on, you may lose them, so you're probably going to have to be quite careful about that. But obviously as soon as that is on, they're not going to fall out. So I've put 2 inserts in, so there should be adding more weight to the front, so we'll see how much has it affected the barrel. Just about there. So it has affected it to some extent. It's not a massive amount, so it hasn't created a very heavy front weighted barrel, but it has added some weight there. I think it's probably moved the balance from around about there to just about here, so it's made it more front weighted. And if I do it the other way, if I put the polymer just as a good test, I'll put 3 in. So I've got 3 polymer and 1 tungsten insert. And I got, actually I must have already had 1 in there. Let's have a look. Oh, I've got 4 in, no wonder. Try that again then. Put 3 of these in. So it's 3 polymers and 1 tungsten, and we'll see. The only difference is because I'm using this rubber, it's quite wide, so it's not going to give you the true balance, but then again I haven't got anything thin enough that's going to be able to balance on the edge of that, so, but it's a rough idea. So now it's got 3 polymers in and the 1 tungsten one at this end, and as you can see the balance has moved. Before it was there, so now it's moved up, so it definitely does affect the balance. And let's see what happens when I've got the shaft on. So that's put it more into a rear style of balance, and if I was using soft tip, it's probably going to affect it again because it's so much lighter on the tip. Yep. But you're going to be spending some time probably playing about with all them options, but I think you're going to have to be quite attuned to your setup to be able to realise how much it affects you when you throw the dart, but I think you will get some idea when you're throwing it and the way the darts are landing. So it's quite interesting that. Right, and that's the close look at the Ultracore One, and as you probably realise, it's got one in the name, so I'm sure there's going to be some more Ultracore darts come out in different barrel designs, no doubt. Now, because this is going to be quite a complicated review with so many options available, I can't test every option, I'll be here forever. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the review and I'm going to use the setup with nothing inside. So that barrel and the flight is around 20 grams, and then I'm going to set the barrels up so that it's got a weight which is closer to my normal weight, which will be the one that it came out of the box in, which is 23.6 grams. And what I'll do is I'll set it up so that the two tungsten inserts are at the front, and then I'll probably switch it again and move them either in the middle or take one out just to see how it goes. And that'll probably be as much as I can do because I can't try every combination. So let's give them a throw and see how they go. Right, first of all I'm just going to throw the barrels with nothing inside them. I think it's about 18 grams, I forget now. And when I've had a few throws with that, then I'll put some inserts in and see how it feels, if it feels any different, and then I'll maybe move the tungsten part around the barrel, see how it affects the balance. Well, there's nothing particularly wrong with the dart itself, apart from the fact it's a little bit long. It just that it feels really light at the moment, and I don't know, it kind of feels as if you're throwing something hollow as well. But I like the grip on that front of the barrel. That's pretty good. The fact that this nose cone kind of makes the barrel feel a bit longer, I think that's like the only real issue for me. But like I said, it just feels really light. So what I'll do now then is I'm just going to put some inserts in. I'm going to put the two tungsten inserts at the front and the two polymer inserts on the rear, and just see how it feels with that. Right, I've put the two tungsten inserts at the front of the barrel and the two polymer inserts at the rear. Already I can feel the difference in the weight, which you would expect because they're around about 23.6 grams now. So I'll throw them now and see if it feels any different when I'm throwing them. That certainly feel more front heavy now. The only thing is that barrel feels dead solid, and so does that one, but that one I can hear the inserts moving very slightly. It's not a big problem like, but I'm not really sure why it's a bit loose on them. I think the weight that I've added, the extra weight, certainly feels better for my throw. I'll have a couple more throws, but I'm holding it on the main part of the grip. I'll just have a throw from there, that race section, just to see how that feels. It's too strange holding it there. I'll just go back to my normal front grip. What I'll do now is I'll take the two tungsten inserts from the front and I'll put them at the rear, and I'll put the polymer ones at the front and see how that goes. Right, so what I've done now is I've switched it over, so the tungsten inserts that were at the front are now at the rear, and the polymer inserts are at the front of the barrel. In my fingers I can definitely feel the weight dropping down on this end. You can feel it, so I'm still going to throw it with my front grip, but just to see what happens when it flies, see if it does anything different. Well, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but just from them first 3 darts, the dart, you can see it's landing more horizontal. Normally my darts land tail up, and you can tell there's a difference, and it felt different when I was throwing it. It actually felt like it was flying flatter, so I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'd have to have a lot more time playing it, but I'll just continue for a few more throws like that. I think I probably prefer the inserts at the front, but it just shows you can affect how the dart flies just by changing them around. For one last experiment then, I'm going to do tungsten insert at the front, then a polymer, then a tungsten, and then a polymer. Right, I've switched them over now again, so now I've got tungsten insert at the front, then a polymer, then a tungsten, and then a polymer, and I can feel the difference again just by holding it. When I had them both at the rear, it was feeling a bit heavier on that rear, and the same when they were at the front. Now it feels a little bit more evenly balanced, so we'll see how that feels when I throw it. Well, that is quite interesting, that, because it's still flying a little bit flat. It seemed a little bit more stable as well, but it's a little bit hard to be sure whether I like that setup better than I did the one where they were at the front. I mean, that felt like it was flying quite well then, but I'll have a couple of more throws. too high now. But it seems quite stable through the air with that setup. Yeah, I think maybe that setup is working better for me than it was when they were at the front. So it's quite interesting. I think the biggest problem I have is the fact that the length of the barrel is a little bit thingy with that nose cone. It shouldn't really be a massive problem, right? Because I suppose you could imagine that as being part of the point, but I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe I've got it in my mind that the barrel is a little bit longer because of that, but the grip that I'm gripping on, where it's quite chunky there, it's a nice grip, but when you're gripping on the rear there's not a great deal there, but I suppose you could always swap the barrel in reverse if you want to grip on the rear, but just I'll try it on that rear section again, as soon as I've got a different setup now. Slipped out my fingers, that one. Yeah, it still feels too awkward throwing it from there, so I'm definitely sticking on with that front grip. Oh well, there you go, that's the Unicorn Ultracore One. It's an interesting concept for a dart, and I like the fact that you can use it on soft tip as well. I haven't thrown the soft tip version here, but I don't really see much point because I'll probably try it later and see what it's like and report on the forum, but one thing I like about it is that pretty nice grip on that front section of the barrel. The only thing is that if you're a rear gripper, whether or not you could get away with reversing the barrel and having the grip on the rear, or you just have to stick with that ring style grip on the back of the barrel. But the fact that you can alter the balance of the dart by moving the tungsten weights around, that's a pretty neat idea, and it's quite a lot of fun just testing it and seeing what works. That setup seemed to work the best for me though, where it's one tungsten, one polymer, one tungsten and one polymer. It's kind of like a neutral setup. It could be because the barrel is already a little bit thicker at the front end as well, so it still worked pretty well with the front weighted setup, but overall I think it was flying a little bit more stable with that neutral setup. So like I say, it's an interesting thing to play about with, and for £48 it's a pretty good buy, that really, because like I said, you're getting two sets of darts really, soft tip and steel tip, and you're getting a multitude of different weights to try out, so I think it's works out a good value. That it's like I said, it's like a kind of a Swiss Army knife of darts. Anyway, that's the end of the review. Thanks for watching.